When I first saw the Harley-Davidson Pan America, I thought to myself, did Harley-Davidson do a collab with Lego? I mean, I just didn't like the way it looked. It looked like it was just pieced together. But now granted, at that time I was looking at a prototype bike from a motorcycle show on the internet. Nothing was really exactly how it was going to be. But at the time also, I was all about middleweight adventure bikes. And middleweight adventure bikes really are all the rage right now, because I think what has happened is people get the idea that they're going to get this huge adventure bike and go off for weeks at a time. And they'll watch the long way down, the long way around, and they think that is what they're going to do. And they find out that sometimes they only have a day to ride, or maybe do an overnight, or at best a weekend. Middleweight bikes tend to fall into a category where they're a little bit easier to ride and control and handle and deal with. That has become a little bit of the rage. And I'm talking about like the KTM 890, the Yamaha Tenere 700, bikes along that line. And these are fantastic bikes. But we're talking today about large adventure bikes, big displacement bikes, Harley-Davidson Pan America, BMW, GS, that kind of stuff. There's a ton of stuff on the internet right now about this bike, so it's like, what am I going to bring to the table? The only thing I'm going to bring to the table is just user experience. I'm super into the bike. I'm excited. I'm going to tell you why I'm excited about it and stuff that I have planned. And I'm going to do stuff to the bike that I didn't even know I planned, probably. There's a lot of stuff that is not available for the bike yet. It's on back order from Harley-Davidson, or a lot of these secondary manufacturers are just sprinting to try to catch up now that the bike has been released. So I've wondered, what is Harley-Davidson's response to this middleweight adventure bike? Is Harley-Davidson going to come out with a middleweight adventure bike? Who knows? But I think really the target for this bike, in many cases, are not the people that have come from a sport bike background or a dirt bike background. Now, there's going to be some that have, okay, there's outliers. I'm saying generally speaking, I feel like this bike is more for people that sort of want a Harley-Davidson, but something that's a little more wash and wear, you know? Something that's just a little more fun to jump on and don't care if you get dirty. And maybe even take the plunge and do some off-road. Do some fire roads. Do some of those things. The bike is quite capable. It's also, I think, for people that have considered going to a BMW GS and kind of went, if there was something American that was an adventure bike, I'd buy it. And then along comes this and people go, yeah, I'm in. Or, you know, some people are going to sell their GSs. You know, maybe the GS is losing its charm a little bit. Arguably, it is one of the best battleship motorcycles ever built. I mean, it's an incredible motorcycle. For people that are into adventure and want serious off-road stuff, there are the KTM models, the 1290, and that whole line. And these bikes are amazing off-road. I mean, really, really. But you give up some other things. And I think that a lot of people don't want to give that up. One of the things that's amazing about this bike, and just one feature that I want to say that nobody else has ever thought of, and that is the adaptive ride height. So for people that are a little bit shorter, and I'm 6 foot, but I don't have like this really tall inseam. Most of my height is in this part of my body. So I appreciate this adaptive ride height. And what is it? Basically, when you stop the bike, the back end lowers and your feet touch the ground. And that's been a flashpoint for a lot of people that have wanted to get into adventure bikes or even dirt bikes of any kind. And they're just like, my feet don't touch the ground and it freaks me out. There's ways around that without the adaptive ride height, but I think it was something that Harley went, we can do this. And it's a really good selling feature, and I think people really like it, actually. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I could probably live without it because, again, I'm not short. Like I said, I'm 6 foot, so I'm fine with it. And you can adjust the seat, and you can get a lower seat, you can get a higher seat. There's different ways of customizing this bike in that regard. So it's not a huge issue without the adaptive ride height, but it is pretty cool to have. Some of the other things that are cool is that The little bit of off-roading that I did do, it seemed to be very easy to off-road. Like the power delivery just made sense for looser dirt and stuff like that. There's a few things that I think that would be great with some kind of a firmware update, where you could turn on the ABS or link the brakes when you want to, and things like that. But it is pretty customizable. We'll get into that over time. But I just wanted to give you an overall idea of why I like this bike and what I'm going to be doing with it. I mean, it is going to be my main adventure bike for sure. It's not my dirt bike, okay? I have a KTM 350, and it hasn't made me go like I don't like Indian anymore. I love Indian. I have my Roadmaster over here and my Bobber over here. I'm not going to get into a brand war because of it. I rode Harley Davidsons for many years, and then it just became very trendy, bolt-on, chrome. I wanted something different, and I happen to be a huge British motorcycle enthusiast. I love the styling of those bikes, but I'm not a one-size-fits-all guy. I like all kinds of motorcycles, and that's why I have 7 bikes, okay? I'll do a video about all my bikes again. I did one from before a while ago, and I've changed some bikes since then. But anyway, so I'm going to go take a ride on this today, just kind of enjoy myself a little bit, maybe do a little bit of mild off-road, just have fun on it, okay? I don't have my kids today. I had COVID for 10 days, I quarantined for 10 days. I actually didn't have that bad of a case, but I'm good now, so I'm just going to go enjoy myself. So stay tuned for future videos of me and this bike, because I want to have a good time exploring all the features of this bike and the fun things that can be done with this bike. By the way, I nicknamed it Godzilla. It's green and it's mean and it spits fire, so far I really love this bike. Let's go have fun. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing it. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. But one of the main things that helps me is if you subscribe. That supports this channel. So anyway, without further ado, let's get on.